Q99.7 Atlanta's hit music. I'm Jade, and it is my absolute pleasure to bring back ATL's own hit music superstar, Normani. Welcome.
Thank you.
What's going on, girl? I was so excited yesterday. Of course, you stopped time on the gram. I see you looking beautiful in the rodeo collection, and I'm like, I get to talk to her tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's jump into it. We're talking about Wild Side, which we've been playing nonstop here at Q. And there were so many favorite moments I had. I was literally sitting up on the porch with my homeboy the other day, and I'm like, the cracked glass on the helicopter. He's like, the white outfit. I'm like, this shot, girl. We were going crazy. So many incredible moments. I think one of my favorite things too was just getting to see you and Cardi and just to see you wrap your hands around her and her beautiful pregnant body with this glowing skin and hair that y'all have for days. Incredible moment.
So much. No, that was very empowering for me. I was just talking about that. The fact that, she's pregnant and she came to work and made it so easy for everybody and make it enjoyable for me.
Definitely.
It's uplifting. And I love women.
Yes.
I'm a girl.
That was definitely a powerful moment. And I know that in time, as we look back, we're going to be like, that was amazing. It's amazing that that's becoming more normal, and it's not the same world that we grew up in where women, we weren't seeing that when we were growing up. So beautiful. Love that. Okay, so I heard you recently speak a little bit about you and Cardi, of course, work with the stylist Colin, and you guys were chatting about having Cardi on the project. And you said that Cardi's reaction was super excited. She already had her ears up and ready for Wild Side. How did she already previously know about Wild Side? And just talk a little bit about that, before everything came together, leading up to those moments.
Well, I posted 10-second snippet a few months prior, and she ended up tweeting my mom. She was like, "Mom, when is Weekend just talking about it coming out?" And I reached out like a few months later, and I was just like, "Yo, we got to do something together." I don't really have a particular song in mind, but like I'd love to create something together. Like, let's do something. And she actually brought up Wild Side.
That's awesome.
She manifested it for both.
I love it. She had me cracking up talking about get your lotions ready. I'm like, oh, Cardi.
Where does that come from?
I love it.
Just how she's funny.
So the first time that you heard her verse, where were you? Who was in the car with you? Like, what was your reaction?
I was in the car. I think my mom was in the car. Aisha, who is videographer, and we were on our way to a location. We were scouting locations for the video, and I listened to it. I played it, and I was so hyped. Just the fact that I heard her voice on my song, I'm just like, it's that shit. Like, I'm such a fan. I've been a fan. And the second that I heard, she was like, "It's mine, and I want it now." That's
yes.
I wanted that aggression and that assertiveness, yet femininity. Yes. And it just really, for me, it cut through everything that I wanted to feel. She really embodied it and brought the record, I feel like, to a whole other dimension. We had multiple conversations just about what my expectations were, which I'm just like, I don't have any. I want you to do what you do what right, because that's what you do best. And so she bodied it, and she gave it back in a timely manner. Like we were really cutting it down to the wire. Like I said, I had already been in rehearsal for like 3 weeks, and so everything there were so many changes happening at a very fast pace. And obviously we needed it before we ended up shooting the first day out of the 3 days that we shot. And so she was just a trooper, man.
What were some, like, as you guys just bonding on set, did you guys have any moments where maybe you guys talked about just, fighting through adversity, or just any advice, or just like those moments that were really special that y'all know between the two of you had during the Wild Side shoot?
We constantly have those conversations, actually. It wasn't just the day of, It was prior to. We had a conversation, beautiful conversation, during the WAP music video, because I was a part of that video as well.
Yes.
Just constantly, like, she is very consistent, and she's a great friend. She calls to check up on me just to see if I'm good, and I think for me that is really rare. I've struggled finding that in this industry, and those people are very rare to come by. And I think that she's so deserving of everything that's coming her way and all of the success. You know, like she works very, very, very hard. If you don't know, she works incredibly hard, and she's genuinely one of the kindest people that I've ever met.
Definitely. And I know that we feel the same about you. And just as a fan, I can say that a lot of times when the people who show so much excellence and greatness at what they do, we just assume that they're always all good, or they just always tough it through. So, you know, some people might feel like, well, she's amazing and she has all of these attributes, like she's just doing it. But people forget that it takes a lot to even hold that together.
It was like a sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears. They wasn't lying when they said that.
Definitely. Okay, let's see. Okay, I stayed up late, like I told you, for the midnight premiere. I was so excited. I about lost my mind when it came to the dancing scene, all black. Girl, this, oh, freaking out. I was like, my inner childhood 90s self is like Usher, Sierra, Chris Brown, so many moments, but Normani at its purest. And I think that we're like, wait a minute, we forget she's an incredible performer, but we forget that she can literally do any style of dance. And it's so hard. So how were you and Sean, as y'all were putting together the whole vibe for the movements and everything? What inspiration, what people were y'all pulling from? Were you referencing any old videos to channel that masculine energy? Because it was super sexy and cool.
Well, Sean and I, we have a very, very special relationship. Like, he's always said that he's wanted that artist, that Aaliyah artist, that Beyonce, that Usher, that Chris, you know, one where we would have such a close and untouchable bond, and also just an artist that is able and capable of just being with the shits and down and you know, multifaceted and really a chameleon. And it's just crazy that it's everything comes in full circle. It's wild because he was our choreographer in the group, but he teaches me in ways that not many people, I don't know, like we just get through to each other in ways that not many people can. And so it's magical anytime we get into the studio. You know, we're very, very hard workers. We do our research. We love to be educated, and we both have the same love for music. Like, I think that that's what it comes down to, is the integrity that both of us have for what we do and for art. And we're willing to do anything and work incredibly hard in order to achieve the vision. You know, like we always prioritize that above anything else. And we study. We love the greats.
Yes.
We love the Janets, we love the Michaels, we love the Princes. And for this particular visual, like, we kept going back to Like a Boy by Sierra.
Girl, stop. Normani, I can't. I'm like, I got all of that. And it's crazy because it was so your own that it didn't feel mimicked, but it's like the spirit of so many things were there.
Thank you. And that, honestly, that's why when you mentioned Chris and Usher, like, those were names that kept coming up in rehearsal, like that energy, that essence. And that's really what we wanted to tap into, which was fairly different for me, coming off of Motivation, which was very, you know, diva-esque energy, feminine, girly. And I always love to outdo myself and challenge myself. We're always up for the challenge, which is why we end up doing the craziest of things.
That's what we love. I have to ask a quick question because you're from Atlanta. Did you ever like take a class at like Gotta Dance or 411 where you were a student of Sean's before you were even in Fifth Harmony or anything?
Well, I was born in Atlanta. I was born in Atlanta, and then at like 6 months, I moved to New Orleans.
Okay.
So from what I can remember growing up, New Orleans for me, that's childhood. And then teenage years, preteen, Houston.
Awesome. Now we got another connection. I was born in Houston.
Yes.
Definitely. I love that. Yeah, I'm like, I get the Southern feels, all of it. I'm such a fan. Listen. Okay, love, let's see. Now that you are 25, a beautiful growing woman, what do you want people to know about you as we get to know you better in this upcoming era of music? And as you begin to show us more layers of yourself, you know, you've followed so many rules, done so many incredible things, worked at such a level of excellence. You could kind of break the rules a little more now. What are you excited to just like show people of the real you?
I'm just excited, honestly, just what you just said. I think it's as simple as that, is showing people who Normani really is and not being afraid of myself and allowing myself the opportunity to be free and creative and not having to fit into a mold or fit an expectation that I've created for myself or what
Right.
people have created from an outside perspective and who they think and want me to be.
Right.
I'm ready to just be and be present and do the best that I can and enjoy it. You know, I love what I do genuinely. And I think that
Yeah.
sometimes all the politics of things can kind of cloud that. And I'm having fun.
Definitely. I could feel that in I saw you with your family, had your cute glass, you guys were celebrating, getting ready to watch the premiere. And I'm like, I could see that was that moment for you guys and your family. Like, you're doing it your way, and it's very exciting. We could definitely feel that through Wildside. Like, it's just the beginning. It's the beginning of us getting to know you well.
It's everything that I've worked my whole life for, you know?
Yeah.
Just constantly reminding myself and reassuring myself, like, you're doing good, kid.
Yes.
You're on the right track.
When you think back to the high school Normani as a dancer, as a performer, singing, what do you still have today that you had then when you look back at videos and stuff? And what do you have now that you're like mentally, physically, just the levels that you've escalated? Reflecting on that, what do you admire about your young self that you still see that you had then? And now, who are you as a different woman?
What I admire about myself back then is my imagination and me, you know, feeling like anything is really possible. I remember being little thinking that the possibilities were endless, and I still feel like I think that now, which is why we have creative conversations and sometimes like with label budgets are a thing because I'm like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Like for me, it's never no until it's actually no. And so I love that about myself, that I'm not afraid to just dream and think outside of the box and just, like I said, allow my brain and my mind and my creative juices to just, the possibilities are endless.
Definitely.
And then one thing that I feel like I've leveled up in would be just my awareness and knowing who I am. I think I'm getting closer and closer every day. Not fully there yet, but knowing who God placed me on this earth to be and really stepping into and channeling that.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, girl. They're wrapping me up here, so I'm going to ask you just a couple last few things. I'm loving our conversation. Okay, I have to ask as a fan, hypothetically speaking, a Chris Brown and Normani song and video, what energy are you channeling and envisioning at the highest level?
Okay. Well, the first thing that popped into my head was the Scream music video.
Yes.
Well, I've always I've admired him so much. Like, he is one of the most talented to ever grace the planet. He can do it all. He really can. And it makes me excited. Like, when I think of, you know, male artists today that are able to perform and entertain,
Right.
you know, like back then I loved the fact that B could get on stage with Usher.
Yes.
Eric could get on stage with Chris. Like, I want to be a part of that. I love that era so much. And obviously, as you know, like looking at my visuals, I pull a lot from those artists, or am inspired by. And so, yeah, that would be a dream.
Amazing. I can already just envision you guys facing each other, getting ready to dance. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, 2 last questions for you. Let's see here. At the 2019 VMAs, you gave us one of the most memorable performances ever. I don't think we could ever forget it. Vocals, crazy. Body, outfit, performance, dance, and tumbling. Okay, who's messing with Normani? We are looking for you as fans, as the culture. We want to see you hit the VMA stage. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm obviously disappointed about it. You know, this last week I've just been in my head, but also I know that everything happens for a reason. I think that with or without, I'm good.
Yes.
Obviously I'm a human being. I feel things. I love to feel noticed and for my work to be validated, but it speaks for itself. And also I think that it's forcing me to validate myself, you
Okay.
know. I'm talented. It has nothing to do with me. It was just a decision that somebody else made, which was out of my control. And, I'm focusing on redefining what success means to me and focusing on the things that make me happy. Like I put out an amazing body of work. I work my ass off, not to, like I said, be validated, but I would love to perform. Like you already know, like those
Oh,
award shows for me, I think back to like my favorite artists and Janet and B and Brittany, like all of those iconic moments, which I know that I'm capable of, you know,
well,
creating.
you are 100% that for our generation. So it's on the way, girl. And we are right behind you. We're ready to see it all. See all of your dream
It,
performances and videos come to life. We're here for it.
thank
We know
you.
it's coming.
Thank
O-
you.
Okay, my last one. Okay, gotta ask. You're an incredibly hardworking, dominant woman in all these other areas of your life. You got to manage so many things as well as keep yourself in, tip-top shape. What kind of a guy can even shoot his shot at Normani? Like, what kind of man is gonna make Normani want to come to the wild side?
A man that is God fearing,
Okay.
that respects his family and respects my family, and one that will push me. I don't want a yes man. I want to be the best version of myself. And even if that means getting uncomfortable, calling me on my bullshit.
I love that.
Yes, hard worker, just kind and patient, gentle, all the things.
All the things. Well, Normani, it was a pleasure to meet you. So beautiful. And it really is an honor for me. I'm such a fan and I will never forget this girl. I watched you at the BMI Awards a couple years ago in Atlanta with doing your Janet Jackson tribute. The sky is the limit for you. It's so exciting I would never even imagine here 2 years later, I'm speaking to you. So I'm really, really grateful. Thank you so much.
Circle, man. Thank
Thank you,
you.
girl. So great to meet you. Bye.